I'm Luke Scanlon, and I'm standing at the Presidential Library of Harry Truman. Behind me is an exhibit that discusses the recognition that President Truman gave when the State of Israel was declared on May 15th, 1948. Right after the State of Israel was declared, President Truman recognized the State of Israel and began forming and supporting what we know of as the State of Israel, the Nation of Israel today. Behind me in this exhibit are pictures and artifacts relating to that decision and the consequences of it. Something here, this picture talks about Jews that were taken away in the Holocaust trying to return back to Palestine, but they were prevented by the British. So you see the British soldiers at the bottom, preventing the Jewish people from getting back to their land that they came from, that they were ripped from in the Holocaust. This letter that you see here, this letter and this letter discuss what happened. It comes from the State Department of the United States, where they were unanimously against Harry Truman supporting and recognizing the State of Israel for fear of what the Arabs would do to our U.S. oil supply. In this letter, Harry Truman actually stated and created a commission to understand what the best course of action would be. These pictures that you see here, this one I find fascinating. This is a barbed wire that separates Jewish and Arab neighborhoods in Jerusalem in the spring of 1948. That's in a neighborhood. That's like in your own neighborhood, separating two sides of the country. Here, we have an old friend of Truman, Eddie Jacobson, asking Truman to please recognize the State of Israel in a letter. Jacobson served with Truman in the military when they were both at war. This letter here is a response from Truman, where he basically says nothing, doesn't have any definitive answers, and simply states that he will get with his friend when he meets with him personally. This letter is the letter that is signed with President Truman's own signature, his final notes to a press release recognizing the State of Israel. This is a Torah presented by Chaim Weizmann on May 25th of 1948, and basically gratitude for America recognizing the new State of Israel. Isaiah 66 talked about, can a nation be born in a day? That's Isaiah 66. In 1948, the State of Israel and the Nation of Israel did become a nation in one day. This Torah, it's beautiful. We see a picture here with Chaim Weizmann presenting it to Harry Truman. The reason that he did it, he thought about what had happened to the Jews in the Holocaust, how the history of the Jews had been corrupt and people taking their land from them, and he wondered whether or not he could actually be someone that stood by and allowed that to happen. So when the UN decided to segregate Palestine into two areas, Arab and Jewish, he stood to recognize that state and support Israel's claim as a sovereign nation in their own state. So today we've got that same decision going on. We see it playing out in the news. I personally support the State of Israel, and we have to find some solution that provides them with liberty and provides the Palestinian people with some sort of solution. And I'm sure going forward we'll find out what that is. But this is one of Truman's most recognized decisions, and I find it amazing that he was faced with this decision 6 days after he became president. Franklin Roosevelt died of a brain hemorrhage. Truman was inaugurated in office, and 6 days later, this happened. The State of Israel would not be what it is today without Harry Truman becoming the 33rd President of the United States. Thank you.